Hey everybody, and welcome back to Brilliant Minds Unlocked. Get ready because today's story is absolutely amazing. We're diving deep into the world of Stamp Fairtex. And you might not know the name right off the bat, but buckle up because she's a world champion. Not in one, not even in two, but get this. In 3 e-combat sports. We're talking Muay Thai, kickboxing, and MMA.
It's really something else. To be a champion in even one of these, it's so difficult. But 3, it's almost unheard of.
Right. It's like she's redefining what's possible, both physically and mentally.
Yeah.
So where does this story even begin?
Well, her journey starts in rural Thailand. Picture this. A 5-year-old girl facing constant bullying, coming home covered in bruises. Now, most kids would try to avoid those situations. But Stamp, her response was completely different. She asked her parents to teach her how to fight.
Wow. That's taking control. And it's even more interesting considering her background, right?
Absolutely. Her dad was a Muay Thai fighter himself. So he became her first coach. Think about that. Her introduction to this world, this physically and mentally demanding world, it was at such a young age. It really says something about her resilience and the environment she grew up in.
That's almost like something out of a movie. This little girl training with her dad, learning how to throw punches and kicks. And get this, her first professional fight was at 6 years old. 6. I was probably still figuring out my ABCs.
And to make it even more like a movie, she won that fight by knockout in under 30 seconds. That early success really foreshadowed the incredible career she'd go on to have. But all those early victories, they brought a unique challenge as she got older. And kept winning. She started running out of opponents.
Wait, seriously? People were actually refusing to fight her?
It sounds crazy, but yes. There was this prejudice in the sport, this idea that women couldn't compete at the same level as men, that they had no future in professional fighting. She was proving them wrong, and it made some people uncomfortable.
That must have been so frustrating for her, to have that much talent and drive, but to be held back by those kinds of beliefs.
It was, and instead of seeing it as a roadblock, she used that criticism as fuel, a challenge to overcome, another obstacle to push past, and that's where we see that incredible resilience and determination that would come to define her career.
This really speaks to what Brilliant Minds Unlocked is all about. Taking those obstacles,
Yeah.
those setbacks, and not just overcoming them, but using them as fuel to reach even greater heights. It's that refusal to accept limitations that sets people like Stamp apart.
Exactly. It's about challenging conventional wisdom, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And that brings us to another big moment in her story. At 18, she made this incredibly brave decision to leave the familiarity of her family's farm and move to Pattaya, a hub for professional fighting, to train full-time.
Okay, now that's a huge leap of faith, leaving everything you know behind to chase this dream, this incredibly challenging dream, in a sport where, honestly, the odds were stacked against her.
Think about a time when you had to make a tough choice, to step outside of your comfort zone, to pursue something you really believed in. Stamp's story reminds us that. Sometimes, taking that risk, that leap of faith, it's the only way to unlock our true potential.
It's about trusting your gut, ignoring the doubters, and committing fully to your vision. And for Stamp, that leap of faith paid off in a big way. Her debut in one championship, which, by the way, is one of the biggest and most respected combat sports organizations of the world, was absolutely spectacular.
It was. She won the atomweight kickboxing world title in her very first fight. Just like that, she was a world champion.
Talk about making a statement. But what's really amazing is that she didn't stop there. In her very next fight, she went on to win the atomweight Muay Thai world title, making her one championship's first ever 2-sport world champion.
Right. And what makes this even more impressive is, unlike some fighters who try to specialize in one specific style or technique, Stamp was able to seamlessly adapt to the demands of both kickboxing and Muay Thai, which, while similar, have subtle differences in their rules and strategies. That versatility, that ability to master multiple fighting styles, speaks to her incredible talent and athleticism.
That's mind-blowing. Can you imagine the pressure she must have felt going into those fights, knowing that the entire world was watching? I mean, to not only win, but to dominate in 2 completely different disciplines like that. It's a testament to her mental strength and her ability to perform under pressure.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember, this is all happening before she even turned 30. It's a level of achievement that most athletes can only dream of. But even champions face setbacks. And in 2021, Stamp experienced her first loss in MMA. Yeah, she was on this incredible winning streak, seemed unstoppable.
Yeah.
And then she faced Angela Lee, a really formidable opponent. It was a big match, a real test of Stamp's skills in the MMA cage.
Yeah, I remember watching that fight. It was intense. Lee is a submission specialist, right? known for her grappling and ground game,
Ew.
which is a very different style than what Stamp was used to in kickboxing and Muay Thai.
Exactly. That's what made the fight so fascinating. It was a clash of styles, a test of Stamp's ability to adapt to a totally different fighting environment. And while she did lose that fight via submission in the final seconds of the first round, it's important to note she was holding her own, showing a lot of heart and determination.
You know, it's interesting because for a lot of athletes, a loss like that, especially after such a long winning streak, can be really demoralizing, make them question themselves, their abilities. But for Stamp, it seemed to have the opposite effect.
That's what's so remarkable about her mindset. She didn't let that loss define her. She used it as a learning experience, an opportunity to grow as a fighter. She went back to the gym, doubled down on her training, and came back even stronger.
It's like that saying, fall 7 times, stand up 8. It's that resilience, that ability to bounce back from adversity, that truly defines a champion. And Stamp embodies that perfectly. She went on to win the one women's atomweight Grand Prix championship, proving that she could compete and excel at the highest level of MMA.
And her success wasn't limited to just winning fights. She was also breaking down barriers, inspiring a whole new generation of female fighters. Her popularity just exploded, not just in Thailand, but around the world. She became a symbol of female empowerment, showing that women could be just as fierce, just as skilled, and just as successful as men in a sport that was traditionally dominated by men.
It's incredible to think about the impact she's had, not just on the sport, but on the way women in combat sports are perceived. She's proving that strength, determination, and athleticism aren't limited by gender. And you know what? That kind of representation matters. It shows young girls, especially in a culture that often tries to limit their potential, that they can achieve anything they set their minds to.
Absolutely. And it's not just about her fighting ability. Stamp is also incredibly charismatic, always smiling, always engaging with her fans, willing to share her story and inspire others. She's become a role model, a beacon of hope, showing that it's possible to be both fierce and compassionate, a champion in the ring, and a positive force in the world.
You know, we talk a lot on this show about the importance of having a why, a driving force behind our goals and aspirations. And for Stamp, the why is really clear. It's her family. She grew up in poverty, facing all sorts of challenges. And a lot of her drive, her determination to succeed, stems from wanting to provide for her family, to give them a better life.
It's a powerful reminder that our dreams don't have to be selfish. They can be a way to uplift those around us, to create a better future for our loved ones, our communities, and even the world.
Exactly. And that sense of purpose, that desire to make a difference is what fuels her. Through those grueling training sessions, those intense fights, those moments of doubt and uncertainty, it's what gives her the strength to keep pushing forward, even when things get tough.
And she's not done yet. Even after achieving so much, winning 3 world titles in 3 different disciplines, Stamp is still hungry for more. She's already setting her sights on a 4th world title, this time in a higher weight class, which means she'll be facing even bigger and stronger opponents.
That's the mark of a true champion, right?
Yeah.
They're never satisfied, always striving for improvement, always pushing their own limits. It's not just about the titles or the accolades. It's about the journey, the constant pursuit of excellence.
And for Stamp, that journey is far from over.
So as we reflect on Stamp's story, what lessons can our listeners take away from her journey? I mean, we've talked about her resilience, her determination, her unwavering commitment to her family. But what else stands out to you?
I think one of the key takeaways, that she embodies this idea of and. She's a world champion fighter, and she's a devoted daughter and sister. She's incredibly tough and incredibly compassionate. She's a symbol of female empowerment, and she's an inspiration to people all over the world. Regardless of gender or background, it challenges this notion that we have to choose one path, one identity, one way of being.
That's so powerful. It's like she's showing us that we don't have to limit ourselves, that we can embrace all the different facets of who we are and strive for excellence in multiple areas of our lives. It's about breaking free from those societal expectations and forging our own unique paths.
Exactly. It's about embracing the and, recognizing that we can be multidimensional, complex individuals who are capable of achieving great things in all areas of our lives. And that, I think, is the true legacy of Stamp Fairtex.
It's really inspiring, right? To see someone like Stamp shattering stereotypes, showing us that anything is possible if we just dare to dream big and work hard.
Absolutely. Her story is like this reminder that we all have that potential for greatness. It might not be on a global stage like hers, but it's there.
And you know, what really struck me about Stamp's journey is that she never lost sight of where she came from. Even after all the fame and success, she's still grounded, humble, and dedicated to giving back to her community. She's using her platform to inspire young people, especially girls, to go after their passions.
And believe in themselves.
That's what makes her so compelling. She's not just a talented athlete. She's a role model, someone who understands how important it is to use her influence to make a positive impact.
It's about recognizing that success isn't just about personal gain. It's about how we can use our achievements to uplift others and make a difference.
And that brings us back to you, the listener. What's your and? What are you passionate about? What impact do you want to make? What dreams have you put on hold because they seem too big or impossible?
Stamp's story is a call to action. It's a reminder that we all have something unique to contribute, a story to tell, the fight to fight. So what are you waiting for? Tap into that inner champion, embrace your and go after those dreams with everything you've got.
We hope this deep dive into Stamp Fairtex's world has left you feeling inspired and empowered. Remember, brilliance isn't about being perfect. It's about embracing challenges, pushing boundaries, and never giving up on your dreams.
Thanks for joining us on this journey.
And don't forget to subscribe to Brilliant Minds Unlocked so you don't miss our next deep dive into another incredible mind. Until then, keep those brilliant minds unlocked and keep striving for greatness.